Welcome to the ITFreeTraining video on NTFS Quotas. NTFS Quotas provide a simple way to control how much data a user can store on a file server. NTFS Quotas were first introduced in Windows Server 2000 and may be referred to as disk quotas. A new quota system was introduced in Windows Server 2008, which is part of File System Resource Manager. However, the administrator is free to choose which one they want to use. NTFS quotas are simple to set up, but have less features than the File System Resource Manager, or FSRM. In a moment, I will compare the two systems. Data usage is calculated based on the owner of the file. NTFS quotas works at the drive level, so any files in the recycle bin also count towards the quota. Also, if you compress a file using Windows compression, the quota will be based on the uncompressed size. Keep this in mind if you use quotas. There are some differences between NTFS and FSRM quotas. NTFS quotas work on the volume level. For example, if you wanted to have quotas for users but no restriction on general access share, you would need two volumes. One volume would contain the user shares, and the second volume would contain the general shares. FSRM, in contrast, works at the folder level. This is one of the reasons to use it over NTFS quotas. You could, with FSRM, have the users and general data separated into different folders. With the data separated into different folders, all you would need to do in order to configure quotas for users would be to apply quotas to the users folder, which would not affect the general data. Using NTFS quotas, you would need to separate the data onto different volumes to achieve the same result. While FSRM is a little harder to configure, it also offers additional features. For example, it allows reports, email alerts, and scripts to be configured. Which are used depend on the administrator. When using NTFS quotas, some configuration needs to be performed. A warning value needs to be configured, which is also referred to as a soft quota. When the soft quota is reached, the user can still add data to the drive. The idea behind this is that the user will get a warning message when they reach this limit. Unlike FSRM, NTFS does not have this functionality built in. If you want to alert the user that they have reached their quota using NTFS quotas, you can manually add this functionality using triggers in the event viewer. NTFS quotas also require a limit value to be configured. This also is referred to as a hard quota. When the user reaches this limit, they will no longer be able to add any data to the drive. This may cause the user to not be able to save files they have open and possibly for software to crash. It is best to educate the user that they need to stay below this value. In a later video, I will look at how to configure NTFS quotas. I will also look at FSRM in later videos. However, if you are studying for the 410 exam, you are not required to know how to configure FSRM. Until next time, I would like to thank you for watching.